Hello everyone, I'm Freaky and welcome to the video. My friends, when it comes to the Dragon Ball Z series, one of the things that we like is the villains. And recently there's been like some reoccurring villains coming back into the series. We had Frieza, we had Broly, we had Cell, the Red Ribbon Army. And you know what? I didn't mind those characters coming back into the series of Dragon Ball Super. But there are other characters that I wish that we got to see in the series. Number 4, Cell. Because hey, look what Piccolo, Frieza and Goku and Vegeta can do now. If they can do it, then so can Cell. Although we kinda did see him in the Super movie, so yeah. Number 3, Cooler. I mean, come on, I would love to see a army of 5th form black Meta Coolers. That in itself would be so freaking mental. An army of your enemy. You know, the Geki Star. I mean, yeah, say what you want about that movie, but an army of 6th form black Meta Coolers would be mental. Number 2, I wouldn't mind seeing the Tuffles come back, because when it came to the Tuffles, I always saw the Tuffles as the brains and the Saiyans were the brawn, and we've seen them come back a couple of times. There was Baby, there was Hachiyak, there was those twins in Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I just really love the concept that the Tuffles would come back and use machines to try and defeat the Saiyans. Yeah, the Tuffles would be at number 1, and today's villain I'm going to be talking about is at number 1, and number 1 is Janemba. Now, I just want to say one thing. I have made a video about Janemba, talking about why Janemba looks the way he does, and that video will explain as to why he looks the way he does. But in today's video, I want to talk about Janemba and why he's a really cool concept. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is the location of where Janemba came from, and that location was the afterlife. It came from movie 12, and thanks to some freak accident involving the Soul Scrubber, all the negative energy exploded, and that negative energy gained form of Janemba as you saw him in the movie. And if you guys saw that video about how Janemba looks the way he does, you can see that he kind of looks like the combination of Boo, Cell and Frieza. If you saw that video, you know what I'm talking about. And you know what? That actually is freaking perfect, because if Janemba was put into the series proper and he was the final villain in Z, then the series would have been freaking perfect. That's not to say that the series isn't perfect, I'm just saying adding Janemba would have been even more perfect. Because think about it, when it came to Frieza, the series was supposed to end with him because Akira Toriyama wanted it to end that way. But then the editor says, hey listen, carry on with the Dragon Ball franchise. And then one thing leads to another, and then we got Cell. And at this point, the series was supposed to end with Cell being beaten by Gohan. And you know what? That was perfect. Cell had all the abilities and techniques from the previous generation, and Gohan was coming into his own, and he was the next generation of the Z Fighters. But again, they told Akira Toriyama to carry on with the series, and we got Kid Buu. And as the series went on, we went from planet destroyers to solar system destroyers to galaxy destroyers, you know, with Frieza, Cell and Buu, and they just kept on upping the ante every single time. But if it came to Janemba, and they told Akira Toriyama to carry on with the series, Janemba would have been a perfect villain to end the Z series. Just think about it. The villains kept on upping the ante, blowing up planets, feasting on people, turning the human population into candies, regeneration. The villains became more and more broke as the series went on. And you can't say that Janemba's also broke. I mean, he wasn't destroying planets, or he wasn't destroying a galaxy or a solar system. Janemba was actually making the universe go into chaos. I mean, yeah, we saw the dead come back to life on Earth, and all that was thanks to Janemba. So you could say that Janemba was making the universe go unstable and slowly destroying it. So it went from planet destroyers to solar system busters to galaxy busters, and Janemba would have been the universe buster. And you know what? I like that idea. It was just one more up the ante when it came to power scaling, and Janemba being the combination of Cell, Frieza and Buu, you can't get any perfect than that. But not in terms of, oh, Janemba's got all of the villain's cells or anything like that, but instead he has all the negative energy. Think about it, Janemba would have gotten the negative energy from Frieza, Cell and Kid Buu, so it would make perfect sense for Janemba to look like the most powerful beings in Dragon Ball Z the series. But since this was in the movies, it kind of makes you think, okay, if that's the case, then what about Broly or Bojack and his goons, or Lord Slug or Cooler or Turles? I mean, you could put it down to Janemba gaining their power instead of any physical attributes. I mean, if he got Broly's power, then that would have been mental. So yeah, I guess you could say that Janemba gained their power, but nothing in looks in the looks department. Now, I will talk about looks again in a bit. I just want to say something else before I carry on. When it comes to Janemba, his origins is of the afterlife. Like, that was the location of where he was born. And you know what? I really love that idea. An afterlife villain. I mean, that is just absolutely brilliant. In fact, I think that's one of the most coolest ideas. We've had villains on Earth, we've had villains coming from space, we've had gods come from their planet and fighting against a demon like Majin Buu, which is supposed to be a primordial being that was born alongside the universe. But since this was before Super, he was actually created by Bibbidi's father. So Frieza was born, Cell was created, and when it comes to Kid Buu, you can either see it as, oh, he was born when the universe came into being, or he was just another creation because of Bobbidi. But Janemba was a freak accident. He wasn't created by anybody, he was actually created by accident, and when he was born, he encased King Yama in some sort of crystal or something, and this in turn made the dead come back to life. And when we first saw Janemba, he was almost like a kaiju, and also reminded me of Fat Buu. And when Goku went Super Saiyan 3 and defeated first form Janemba transformed into his second form, and he defeated Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, some people might say that, oh, they don't like Janemba's second form because it makes him look silly. But, to be honest, I actually do like Janemba's first form because it makes us underestimate him. Like with Fat Buu. We all underestimated Fat Buu when we first saw him, and he was kicking everybody's ass. So, his first form was pretty good too. And when it comes to Janemba himself, if you guys really think about it, Janemba is the embodiment of pure evil, chaotic, pure evil. From the most evil weakling mortal to the most powerfulest evil in the universe. It's thanks to all that evil energy that he exists. So if you guys really think about it, Janemba cannot truly be permanently destroyed, because people are still going to die, and their soul needs to be cleansed when they go to hell and be reincarnated. Even if Janemba was going to be destroyed, the evil of mortals is what will keep Janemba coming back. So in a way, Janemba is immortal, kinda, because as long as the evil of man is around, he will never truly be destroyed. Because again, he came from the evil energy that came from mortals. So really, if you think about it, that is kind of scary, because Janemba always has the potential of coming back, as long as there is evil in the universe. And do you guys remember when I said that he's the combination of Frieza, Cell and Buu? Well, the only reason that he looks like them is because in the series, they were the most powerful villains in Z, minus the movie villains. Which brings me back to his appearance. Now, think about this. Let's just say, for example, that Cell, Frieza and Kid Buu didn't exist, and Janemba was going to exist anyways, but not in the form that we know him, in his second form in the movie. Again, let's just say, for example, that Cell, Frieza and Kid Buu didn't exist. Janemba wouldn't have any of the attributes that he got from Cell, Frieza and Kid Buu, because again, Janemba is the combination of Cell, Frieza and Kid Buu in terms of looks. Because hey, Frieza, Cell and Kid Buu all died, so it would make perfect sense for Janemba to look the way he is. Because he absorbed Frieza, Cell and Kid Buu's evil energy inside of him. Well, not really absorbed, but more like exploded into a physical form in his first form. But you guys know what I'm trying to say. But again, let's just say for example that Frieza, Cell and Kid Buu didn't exist. What would Janemba look like if he didn't absorb their evil energy into him? Well, from what I've gathered, if we go by movie standards, the three most powerful villains from the original Z movies would be Bojack. Yeah, I know, he was stuck in North Coast Planet, but just roll with me for a sec. You have Bojack, Broly, Cooler, and Arudagon, and not including the androids because the androids don't have any souls. So those guys would be the most powerful beings in the Dragon Ball Z franchise if Frieza, Cell and Kid Buu wasn't around. So if you was to combine Cooler, Bojack and Broly and Arudagon, like let's just say for example that the Z fighters actually defeat these guys, Cooler, Bojack, Broly and Arudagon, and their souls got put into the Soul Scrubber, and then the accident happened anyways, it would create Janemba, but not in the way that we know him now. He would look completely different. Yeah, he could have Cooler's tail, he could have the wings of Arudagon, and Arudagon's horns, he could be all muscly, thanks to Bojack and Broly. He could have Cooler's skin armor on his chest and on his head. What I'm trying to say is that Janemba doesn't come in the exact form that we know him of in movie 12, but instead Janemba can come in any form, and he would take the attributes of the most powerful beings in the universe. And yeah, before anybody says anything, yes, I did count Arudagon, but the only reason I counted Arudagon is because, number one, Arudagon stands out in terms of his looks, and when it comes to Bojack and Broly, I mean, they're just muscly guys. So if you really wanted only just three of the most powerful beings in the universe, it would only be Arudagon, Broly and Bojack. But again, Bojack and Broly are just muscly guys. So yeah, I had to add Cooler in there because of his physical attributes. So if we was to take the appearances of Cooler and Arudagon and Broly and Bojack in terms of their looks and mix them up and distort them, you would get a completely different looking Janemba. What I'm trying to say is Janemba can take any form. It would kind of be something like the Xenomorphs in a way. Like the Xenomorphs takes the attributes of the species they was conceived in. Like look at the Pred alien from Alien vs Predator 2. That thing was a combination between an alien, a human and a predator. What I'm trying to say is the alien isn't bound to just one form. It can look like absolutely anything. It's the same with Janemba. He can look like absolutely anything. He would take the attributes of the most powerful beings in the universe who have died and add their evil sucked out of them. And that's what makes Janemba unique. 1. He's the combination of the most powerful beings in the universe. 2. He comes from the afterlife, so he's an afterlife villain, and that is a unique place for a villain to come from. Number 3. Janemba is a reality warper, and that's something that we've never seen in the Dragon Ball Z franchise. He can Lego teleport, he can turn things into anything, like that sword he manifested, so yeah, that's unique. Number 4. He brings absolute chaos to the universe. In fact, Janemba is the embodiment of chaos itself. He brings the dead back to life, he makes everything unstable. Eventually he was going to destroy the whole universe. And when it came to Frieza, Cell and Buu, Frieza wanted to take over the universe. Cell wanted to make the universe his play area if he destroyed the Z Fighters, and Fat Buu would have the universe as his play area. But when it comes to Kid Buu, he would play around, destroy things, play around, destroy things, and go into hibernation, and play around, destroy things, play around, destroy things. Frieza, Cell and Buu needed the universe, either to take it over, or make the universe their play area. But when it comes to Janemba, I think that he just wants to destroy the entire universe. Like 100% destroy it. And I think that would be perfect for his character. That Janemba wants to destroy the entire universe. That would be his one wish, just to destroy the universe. But the thing is, why would he do that? Why would Janemba want this? This is just my fan theory, but just hear me out on this. Why would Janemba bring all this chaos? Why would he want destruction? Well, I had this idea. Well, there's this villain in the Marvel Universe called Null. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Now, from what I've gathered, Null existed before the beginning of the universe, and then the Celestials invaded his kingdom, and so Null waged war against the Celestials, and his goal was to destroy all life before the Celestials came into his domain. He wanted the universe to be nothing but complete darkness, and that's what I see when it comes to Janemba. I think, now hear me on this, I think Janemba might want to destroy the universe, so the universe can be absolutely nothing but chaos. Well, you know the God of War franchise? In the beginning, there was nothing but chaos, and that's where all life came from, chaos. And that's what I think Janemba came from. He originally came from chaos, or he was chaos, like a formless wave of chaos. Janemba would kind of be something like a coup from Samurai Jack, because when it came to a coup is actually the offspring of something called the Black Mass, or aka the Ultimate Evil, and it was this formless big blob of blackness that consumed and destroyed everything. And it's all thanks to the gods like Odin, Ra and Rama that they destroyed this black mass that was destroying the universe. What I'm trying to say is, I think maybe this is what Janemba wants. He wants everything destroyed. He wants everything to be absolutely nothing but chaos. Maybe he was this formless evil that resided in mortals, and so, thanks to all this evil energy exploding all at once that was gathered since the beginning of the universe, and thanks to 3 of the most powerful beings in the universe, Janemba gained a form. And listen, this is just all speculation and this is just my fan theory, but for me, I just love the idea that Janemba is the embodiment of evil chaos, and his goal is to bring absolutely nothing but chaos and destruction, and that's the only thing that he wants, complete and utter destruction of the universe. And yeah, I know I'm bringing in facts about the character and my own personal fan theories into this video, but I'm just doing this for fun. But I think it's definitely something to think about. I mean, come on, he looks like the freaking devil. So after everything that I've said in this video, and to what we know about Janemba, I think he would have been the perfect villain to end the series with. And you know what? Even if the Z-Warriors was to defeat Janemba, it would only be a temporary thing for Janemba, because as long as mortals still exist and they're doing evil acts, he will always come back. And I mean always come back. I mean, come on, the only reason that he exists is because of the evil energy that mortals have inside of them. So even if the Z-Warriors was to defeat Janemba, he would come back after millions and millions of years. So you could say that Janemba is a doomsday monster, where he comes along every millions of years. But that's only if someone makes a mistake, like what that kid Orc did in the movie, but instead of looking the way he does in the movie, he would come back looking different, like what I said earlier in this video. So yeah, Janemba is the ultimate evil with ultimate power, with reality warping power, and if they was to make an arc with Janemba in Z, then it would be freaking perfect. But now since we've got Dragon Ball Super, Janemba would have to look different. I mean yeah, Cell Kid Buu is dead, but Frieza is back from the dead, and the only main villains that have died in Universe 7 has been Moro and Gas. So if they did decide to bring back Janemba, I think they should take their attributes and add them to Janemba, and maybe take their power as well. Like, we knew that Moro was a very powerful wizard, so maybe Janemba could have some of his power, and since Gas wished to be the most powerful being in the universe, his power could be added to Janemba, including their attributes. So Janemba could be the combination of Cell, Kid Buu, Moro and Gas, and look completely different. He would have their power and their looks. So if Janemba was to be introduced into the series properly in Super, then I think that's what they should do. Have him be the final boss in the Dragon Ball franchise, and let him have the attributes of Cell, Kid Buu, Moro and Gas. And if he needed more power, he could teleport to other universes' afterlives and take their negative energy, so he can get much more powerful. And Janemba could be the reason why the Gods of Destruction are powerful as they are. They need to be powerful so they can subdue an evil like Janemba. Because if you guys think about it, why are the Gods of Destruction as powerful as they are? Why be that powerful? And you know what? It hit me. Janemba. The Gods of Destruction wasn't just created to destroy planets, but they were also created so they could take down Janemba. Again, I know this is just all fan theory and I'm just putting my headcanon into this, but to me, I just really love this idea. And you know what? It's an absolute shame that something like Janemba wasn't introduced to the Z series. But if they do want to bring him back in Dragon Ball Super, then I say go for it. He's powerful, his concept is friggin' awesome, he's a reality warper, he comes from the afterlife, his goal of absolute chaos and destruction is cool. He's the combination of every single evil in the universe. Janemba is possibly one of the most awesomest villains within the Dragon Ball franchise, and I really wish they would bring him back in the series. If they can do it for Frieza, if they can do it with Cell, if they can do it with Broly, then they can do it for Janemba. But I think he should be the last villain of the series, simply because of his concept of coming from the evil of mortals. And if he's destroyed, he can eventually come back, because he is the embodiment of evil itself. And to me, that is freaking awesome. Now, there's just one more thing I want to say about Janemba. Some people might actually say that Janemba's personality is that of Kid Buu. Like, he doesn't have any personality like Cell or Frieza. Janemba's personality is of that of Kid Buu. And you know what? You guys are absolutely right. I mean, too much so if you ask me. But to be honest, I actually do like his personality, because again, Janemba is the manifestation of chaos and evil. So really, he's a chaotic evil. He doesn't really need a personality, especially so if his whole goal is to destroy the universe. So I don't really mind it. So yeah, I say keep Janemba's personality the way it is. But here's another thought. Let's go back to Kid Buu. Now, it was said that Kid Buu absorbs all the evil energy throughout the universe, right? This information was told to us by Akira Toriyama himself, that his whole job was just to absorb all the evil that was in the universe. So think about this for a second. Majin Buu is immortal, right? And he goes around destroying planets left and right? And absorbing the universe of its evil, right? And after so many years of absorbing all the evil, Majin Buu becomes evil himself. So maybe the reason why Majin Buu does what he does is so that Janemba wouldn't come back. I mean, let's just say for example that Majin Buu wasn't around, right? And evil people kept on being born in the universe. And instead of Majin Buu absorbing all this evil, all the most evil people who goes through the Soul Scrubber, all that Soul's evil energy pours out even more than what the Soul Cleanser can handle. And after so much evil energy goes through the Soul Scrubber malfunctions, like what happened in movie 12. It explodes and you get Janemba. Maybe Majin Buu's whole job was to stop Janemba being born. Think about it. Why wouldn't he have the personality of Frieza or Cell? But instead, Janemba had the personality of Buu. But the thing is, Janemba only absorbed all the energy and is the embodiment of evil because of all the negative energy. And when it came to Kid Buu wasn't born evil. He became the way he was because of all the evil that he absorbed. And I doubt that Janemba absorbed Kid Buu's personality. But instead, I think this is what the personality of evil is. That's the reason why Janemba is like Buu. It's because of the evil energy. Again, why not have a personality like Frieza or Cell? But instead, Janemba's personality is that of Kid Buu because of the evil energy that he is. Now, some people have been saying that Kid Buu from the beginning wasn't like this, like when we saw him in Dragon Ball Z, but instead, he was just a normal, regular, primordial being that wasn't evil, but thanks to all the evil they absorbed, he became the way he was because of what I just said. So I can understand as to why Janemba is the way he is. So yeah, that explains that. Now, some people might say that they want Janemba to have a different personality than to what he had in Universe 12. But you know what? I say keep it the way it is. Janemba could just be chaotic evil incarnate, thanks to the negative energy, the same energy that Kid Buu absorbed. So Janemba didn't absorb Kid Buu's personality. That evil energy is the personality, if you think about it. And Janemba's one goal in life is just to destroy the universe. But the thing is, who could work alongside with Janemba? You know, for lackeys or minions. And that's simple. He brings the dead back to life, and he tells them to kill or go after people, and if they can do that, they will be brought back to life permanently. But little do they know, Janemba doesn't keep that promise, because he's going to destroy the universe. So he can bring back all the villains that were shown throughout the entire series, and villains that have been dead for like thousands of years, maybe even millions of years. You could bring back Cell, Moro, Gas, the Red Ribbon Army, and so on and so on. That'd be freaking cool. Yeah, I know we already saw it in movie 12 and in GT, but hey, I love it when the villains came back. And in order to defeat Janemba without the Omni King, they have to call upon not only the gods of destruction, not only every single hero in every single universe, but all the heroes from the past that are in the afterlife, you know, heaven. And this would be perfect for this series to end, where everybody came together to defeat this ultimate evil known as Janemba. In my opinion, that would be cool. So, what do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Do you like the ideas that I brought into this video? Do you want Janemba to be introduced into the series proper? Please let me know in the comment section below, and let's get a discussion going. I'm Freaky. Peace out. And please don't forget to check out my other social medias. Please go and check out my alternative video platforms: Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Twitch, and please come and hang out on my Discord server. We can play games, have a movie night or a series night, or you can watch me play a few games. And if you guys have any suggestions of any videos you want me to react to, or any video ideas in general, you can tell me on my Discord. I'm also on Twitter, Gab, Getter, and Parler. I'm on Locals, Tumblr, Minds, and if you guys want to support me, please go and check out my Subscribestar. It's like Patreon, but better. All these things are in the description box below, so please go and check them out and subscribe to them. I'm Geek Freak. Peace out.